Hey, so welcome back. It's been a couple weeks. I've been busy. I've had some other things kind of come up, so I haven't had as much time as I'd liked out in the shop. But finally getting back in, work on the RX-7. So, here it is. Not much has changed in the last couple weeks. So yeah, I'm just kind of still sitting the way it is. The 13B itself is, what we did, if you remember, is we took it all down, took it apart, and found a couple extra lines we were missing from the harness that were kind of pinched under things, and so that was kind of what was holding us off before. So we're going to go ahead and put it all back together, do the whole rat's nest again, all the vacuum lines, get them all hooked up, and then I'm actually going to do a trans swap real quick, just because this one has a bad 5th gear. And so when I bought that other 13B, it came with another trans, so I'm going to throw that on. The owner said it worked great, so I'm just going to take his word for it and see what happens. Pardon the mess for now. There's a whole bunch of boxes that showed up for other little projects, and things we're going to be working on here in the near future. Pretty excited about them, so stay tuned for those. This is the diagram that shows all the vacuum lines on a normal twin turbo motor. So I don't believe the original owner had it wired exactly like this or had it ran exactly like this, but we're going to do the best we can, close to this as possible, and just see where we land. So we started connecting all the vacuum lines, at least the ones we could, without putting the manifold on, and it wasn't long before we ran into issues. In the process of connecting things, we broke a couple brittle wires and needed to be rewired.
One eternity later.
And so after we got the wires reconnected, we just continued on connecting the vacuum lines and putting on accessories as we went. Now with the manifold, we could connect the rest of the vacuum lines onto that, as well as finish a lot of the mounting for all the other accessories. Last thing is we finished up the front, getting some of the pumps on, getting the alternator, getting it all adjusted, putting the belts on, stuff like that. Now that we got the engine more or less put together, it was time to put on the trans. So we lifted it up. To get it off, there's a little inspection plate underneath. And so, as you see, I'm trying to maneuver it to get it out of the way to where I can kind of get under there. So I have Nick holding it while I open the inspection plate. And then from there, there's like a little kind of a pressure plate in there that you kind of have to click open, I guess. And then it's kind of like a little pressured release. And then from there, you can just pull it right off. And then now that we got it off, we needed to swap all the accessories, basically off all of just the little extra parts, the sensors. We swapped all the sensors over. We swapped, there was an EGR pipe that was on there. The shifter, the one that came on the new shifter, sucks. So I wanted to use my original shifter. So I pulled the shifter off. And then just, little plates and things like that. And then I had to pull the clutch fork, all that. So as we finish up today, kind of what we got done was we got the motor more or less put back together. It ended up taking a long time to have to kind of rethread a couple wires and get that stuff done. Reconnect them. Just some old kind of dried out wires that needed recut. And then we swapped everything over from the trans that was on it with the bad 5th gear to the new trans that hopefully is good. It shifted through everything okay, so hopefully it'll be alright in there. So next steps, we're gonna go ahead and get it put in the car next week, and put fluids in, get everything plugged in, hopefully hopefully turn it over. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.